Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
I gotta hop up in my
This
chair.
says at 8:30 we're discussing EDA. That's a typo. That should be HEDC. Yeah, it was a carryover from our last council meeting.
EDA.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't want to talk
do,
about it.
Yeah, we don't do
right now.
EDAs. So.
We will have that conversation someday about EDAs,
Well,
Yeah.
but not today.
Oh,
Well,
it's
you
the
had asked-
85% is what it is.
You had asked me to give the 24 and 25 budget for HEDC, and I did that at the budget meeting. So everybody's
Okay, I
got
want
that.
to expand on that just a bit. I was sent, or actually the auditor's office was sent, and I got forward an email from a gentleman, an attorney, who, I don't know if he's here or not, Mr. Overhouse. And it says specifically that the information is required to be furnished by section. It goes on and on and on. This is citing an IRS code that says that all non-for-profits shall be made available to the public at such time that, in general, exempt organizations must make available for public inspection certain annual returns and applications for exemptions, and must provide copies and returns to the individuals requesting them. So to ask for a breakdown on that budget is not out of line at all. So having just a kind of a generalization, I don't think really answers our question when we were trying to figure out where all the money
What
was
more
going.
breakdown do you want?
Well, I know the salary, it's just not it doesn't tell what the salaries are. It just gives a line item of that. And I guess I just want to detail, a little bit more detail in the budget.
So you want the salaries broken down?
Well, I think they should be, just so we have an idea of who's getting what. And I guess, I don't know if, Harold, you can elaborate on any of that stuff? On salaries?
No, you don't have to swear in.
Okay, I didn't know.
How formal.
I am one of the members of the executive committee of Hancock Economic Development. In fact, I was the president for a couple of years. Past president right now. I can assure you that we do have, the executive committee does an annual evaluation of the executive director. We do take a look at what executive directors of economic development councils are paid throughout the state based on population, staff. I can assure you that Randy is by no means the highest paid. He is just about at average for a county of our size. That is done on an annual basis. I know there were some questions about incentives. There are no incentives based on how many RFIs they respond to or new businesses. We do have a rubric that we follow for that. And then typically, I will say those raises have been at market levels, somewhere in that 2 to 5%. I don't have the exact number for you today. I don't have that level of specificity, but we do have another member of the HEDC team here with us today. We have Mitchell Kirk, who does a lot of the communications for us. We have Anna that does a lot of responding to the RFIs. We have Erica Boswell, who does a lot of that work as well. We'll tell you, we went through a transition of staff. Connie Schmidt had been with us for a long time. So there was a period of time in late 2024, maybe even into 25, where she did some consult work for us. But you're looking at, I do have that right, Mitch, is that 4 staff members right now? Didn't think I was mentioning that would be full-time for us. That would include salaries, health insurance benefits, retirement. That is all lumped in there. But the level of specificity you're asking for, I don't have that in front of me today, but I can assure you that nobody is paid anything that would be out of the ordinary.
I think we'd like to see it.
I don't have it, is what I'm
I
saying.
Yeah,
know, but
you
what I'm
can-
saying is that you could email it to the auditor's office and then
And certainly, we will comply with whatever Indiana code requires us to comply with. I've never heard that before. Obviously, I work in the public sector. We go through.
I had not either, that's why I read it into,
I would
because I
like
didn't
to
know if any of
see
us had heard it.
another lens on that. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Again, most of my work is in the public sector, where we go through an audit every 2 years through the State Board of Accounts. I can tell you that Economic Development Council, we have had audits in the past. I believe it has been a couple of years since that has been done. But the executive committee does see that level of detail. I don't believe we have anything that would be out of the ordinary there. Obviously, Jim sits on that. We have Dan Riley from the city of Greenfield sits on that. Dave Smith from Nine Star. Matt Brower would be from the private side. And then who else am I missing there?
GBC.
Brian Miller.
Brian Miller from GBC. So that is that executive committee that does see that level of specificity. The budget is voted on by the larger HEDC board annually. I do believe things are on the up and up there.
Oh, one thing, that just, this is the first time I've seen it right now. I have not been given this prior to right now. But it shows that under salaries and wages, that in 2024, you allocated $289,000, and then for the 25 budget, you allocated $341,600. That's a significant jump. What's going on there? This is why I think we'd like to see a little bit more breakdown, so we can have a true picture of what, we're talking about a lot of money, and there are other needs and projects out there that we've been looking at that spread this money out a little bit.
And I don't know whether it's in there. We are planning to have an executive search this year. It is Randy's intent to retire. The end of the executive committee would like to have a search team looking for that. So we have set aside some money for that. There may be a little bit of an overlap with executives for a short term as well. So that would account for some of that, I believe.
Well, and you added a fourth
You added
employee.
Mitchell.
We added a
Yeah.
fourth employee.
Well, it was Erica. Mitchell's been there.
No, Erica, yeah. Mitchell would have been there for a
Erica,
couple
Ann,
of
and Mitchell.
Mitchell was from the, I think that, no, I've got that. I think that the definition of those is fine for us to I don't think anybody's accusing anybody of being overzealous with anything at that point. I met with you guys. I'm a council person. I can meet, and so when my vote comes up, I have a confident, figure on what I'm, and I think everybody that I've talked to, and including you guys, we're all on the same goal. I was just concerned myself personally. That's kind of why we've been pushing this, and I've been pushing it. More income has come in than we originally started with, and it's something you deal with when it happens, not prior, because we didn't have exact figures, what was going to happen, when it was going to happen, all that kind of stuff. You have money in your budget right now, and you're getting more money by the next draw, and we would like to help or have a say in maybe how some of that excess money that you're not needing for salaries, office space, things like that, is utilized. And I think the council and the HEDC on that extra money can come to agreements and everybody be happy.
Absolutely.
We're all after the same thing. We're all after
Asking
the best
for
use of
something
money.
that I think that there's something going on. I just want transparency, and
Right.
if we ask for that, I think that it should be given. And I think there should be some scrutiny with the budget as a whole on your guys' side, that there may be some excess. We have had to cut a lot of programs and things that are coming up in the future because of Senate Bill 1, and it's just maybe a tightening of the belt, and I would appreciate that
So
you
no, I
guys-
live in that same world as
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, for
I know.
yeah.
sorts of things. So
I
I understand where you're coming from, but I think if we just cut to the chase here, I think this really goes back to the agreement with the abatement. I think that was something that the council agreed to a number of years ago. I'm not sure we fully threw out the projections that everyone would understand what those dollars would equate to as we look to 4, 5, 6 years into the future. The meeting that we did have with Mr. Fisk the other day, I think you would see that the HEDC Executive Council would be very agreeable. Obviously, met with Kiwi as well, would be very agreeable to the idea of collaborating on where some of those funds are spent. I don't think we're putting our heels in the sand and saying back off. I think we want this to be a collaborative effort. We all want good things for our county. That's what economic development was established for.
I would like these funds, though, to stay in the economic development realm. You know what I mean?
They have to.
Yeah, I don't want to see that money go outside the box, because that's what we all voted for in 2022 was for economic development, and I don't want to defund that. But having said that, there is economic development needs currently, and
Besides HEDC.
besides your programs.
Understand that.
And we would like to see some of those funds help with that. I heard Mr. Riley from the Greenfield City Council say that one of the companies that they've been working with that's going to come to Hancock County, the most important thing that they talked about was the trade school.
Amplify in general, that it
Yes,
has not only for the
because
high school students, but
workforce
the workforce
development to
development for
them
adults. Yes.
was more important than just about anything else, because they have to have a workforce to sustain.
Yep.
And right now, we're the only one in the country that's building one of those, or at least in
In this region,
this
anyway.
whole region of the country. So the companies coming in to Columbus and others, they don't have the support for their workforce that we do right now, that we're going to have. And so me personally, I would like to see some of that excess funds help get that off the ground and keep it running. And but I'm not upset at you guys for anything. The council and the HEDC have to work together. One of the anomalies of economic development is the fact that people come in from big companies and they don't want to go straight to the government, because then everything is public record. And if everything is public record, then they won't come in and disclose what they want to do. And somebody's got to know that first. And it's hard on us because we can't even know names. I'm not signing agreements for Google or anybody else that says I'm not going to say their name, okay? Because I'm not putting myself in that liability situation. But somebody's got to be ahead of the game. If we did our own, okay, and a large company come in and wanted to do a $1 billion project, anything they give to us is public record. And so there has to be a mediator in between, and that's where HEDC falls in right now. They can do something we can't. They don't have to disclose everything that company wants to do. And I understand why they do that, because they have shareholders, they have things that they have to search out that may not come to fruition, that shouldn't be affected on their company's share price and stuff, so.
Okay, I guess for today, is there any, do we just want to keep this an ongoing conversation for?
Yeah, they're due their next draw,
Which has not been released.
which has not been released. Today's the 10th, right? It was supposed to be released today.
It doesn't have to be today, but
Right.
yes, we've got it ready to go.
Okay.
Was it appropriated before it was ever posted, or it's not appropriated?
We don't. It's settlement. It's our disbursements to
So
municipalities.
we don't do any, if we wouldn't have raised this, it would have gone out
They have it
anyway.
ready, but they
Yeah.
haven't dispersed it.
The
We don't
or,
have to.
We don't have to
raise
appropriate it.
Settlement money.
no.
No,
Right.
that's
The
money that we've
auditor
taken in
says
and we
the
have to
auditor will
redistribute.
pay it.
Okay.
Are you guys open to, I know you have money in your budget already, and then you're going to get more money. Are you open to helping us in
I
some?
believe I speak on
like
behalf
after
of
the
the
first of the year or
executive
something?
committee when I say absolutely.
Okay.
Very open to ongoing collaboration. We believe we have some common interest that would meet both of our goals.
So I would like to say, on the day of my last meeting, which makes me sad, but a couple of things that moving forward that I would like to see is, and you mentioned it, Mary, these items aren't very broke down. 12,000 for this, 12,000 for that. What are those things? Most budgets that we look at, sales, meals, travel are broke down more. Who's doing it? Why? Not who's doing it, why are they doing it? But there are more line items there. So I would like to see, for the county moving forward, more detail on the budget. The second thing that concerns me in this year is I've heard Randy talk, and moving forward, I would like for the county to see more transparency, because what I'm concerned with, not that it's happening, but you have to think about it, is are they only going after clients that no one an abatement because that comes back? I don't want to think that's it, but show us that it's not that. When they talked about how many calls they actually return, are the ones that they know are going to ask for an abatement that comes full circle. So just a couple things that I kind of wanted to put out there, that as you move forward, to look at those things and maybe question those things.
If I may, certainly we can give examples of projects that have come here that have not gotten an abatement.
Sure.
Specific to the RFIs that come in, our team at HEDC does a really good job of responding to all those that we can. Now, there are some that we can't respond to because they may need rail within a certain proximity, or they may need a port, and sometimes they'll still even come to us. I mean, there are some that we simply cannot respond to. So I don't want you to have the idea, or people planning an idea in your head, that we're only chasing things that would revolve around an abatement. That is simply not true.
And I think then that comes down to how the conversations are portrayed to the council and throughout the county.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of my issue, was that we never got any quarterly reports or semi-annual reports that said that we have actually pursued no interest from certain companies. We see the abatement ones. Those are very obvious to us, but we don't see any bang for our buck of any companies that are just wanting to maybe come to Hancock County and not asking for supplement money to come. And so we really don't know what projection comes from HEDC.
Well, next year's a big transition year for you guys, okay? And it sounds like
with
it's
a
going
new
to be
director, yeah.
Right, and it sounds like we're going to be a transition between the council and the HEDs on working together, okay? So I'm not in favor of trying to break up the system that's currently there, okay? It's a tedious, long, attorney-filled scenario for us to start cutting agreements and cutting percentages and doing things that I don't want to get into, especially when the goal is, if there is excess funds, for them to be handled in an economic way that we're all comfortable with, okay? And if that's met, then, we need to go on as status quo. Council members, unless you say otherwise, that even aren't Jim or Robin, you can invite them to the executive sessions. You can invite them to the meetings. We can invite you guys back here. It hasn't been a relationship like that. This is the first time.
Anytime you ask us to
Right.
be here, we will send a representative.
Right, and you guys have one that shows up, but I'm not saying that we haven't hit walls together with that, but we have. So I need a better relationship, and
We want that.
yeah, and so I'm confident that we can achieve that. Everybody I see on the executive committee for the HEDC is not in it for their own interest. You're certainly not in it for your own interest. David's not in it for his own interest. We're not in this for our own. We're in it for the interest of the county, the economic development of the county. And we have a special county. We have a special thing to sell, and we have quite a lot going on, and we just want to be a part.
I would add, I met with the executive committee as well, and Kent and I both, started quite frankly with, council has said their will is not to hand over this whole 5% going forward to be used however is pleased, and we're not going to ask any questions. And my question there was, knowing or assuming that all these extra funds were coming in, Have you made obligations? Have you already substantially increased your budget next year? Have you committed any of that extra money knowing it was coming to anyone? And they didn't have everything in front of them because it was a question on the spot. But the answer was no. We don't believe, that other than some inflationary type, adjustments, it is not like they have gone out and said, oh, good, we have all this extra money to spend. Here's what we're going to do with it. And that was my biggest concern is we can say we don't want to do that and had anybody already obligated it to include
Right.
Randy. And the answer there was no. We have not obligated it, and we want to collaborate
Right.
and feel like we're doing what the council wants as far as the investments with the budget beyond the basics. And so, to Ken's point, our relationship has not been with the board, but it is a large board, and there's community stakeholders we know, like, and respect there. And I agree with Kent that we should keep the discussion going, because I didn't know going into that meeting what would be said, but I came out believing we want to be on the same page. We have not spent that money, and we won't spend that money until we feel like everybody is on the same page.
Right. We also want future economic projects, okay? And they had in their mind a future economic project someday for an incubator space for smaller companies. Right now, I think everybody comes in, if they don't want a 1 million square foot building, then they don't come to us. And we've lost a couple small companies in the county because there wasn't smaller venues for them. And I said, that's a great idea. Why don't we work on that in the future? Because, and it's not us versus you on that. We want the same thing. I know we
I
lost.
couldn't have said it better myself.
Right.
And I think it really goes back to Tammy's question about some of those smaller companies. We would love to have space for them, but unless it's 250,000 square feet to 1 million.
Right. So we need to
Haven't
work
had
on
them.
that because we lost Sonic-U. We lost a couple local companies because we didn't have the next step for them.
You push those smaller companies out to some of the towns, since they obviously aren't going to. fit into
Certainly,
our-
I can't speak exactly how that works, but I do know that Randy does mention spaces throughout the county that might suit what their needs are, yes.
Well, Randy specifically helped Shirley with a tax abatement for a company last year that was wanting to expand, but they wanted a tax abatement.
was an
They didn't
abatement.
know how to do it, so Randy worked with them free of charge.
Kind of
So
interested in the ones
he's
not
working
wanting
with the
tax
whole
abatement.
county.
Yep.
That's,
So,
Yeah.
Last night at tourism, the tourism director brought up that there was a fun, entertainment, family-friendly venue, pickleball and food and all these things. There was an article she read about wanting to go to Fisher's, but there was no space there. And she said, man, wouldn't that be great for Hancock County? I forwarded it to Mitchell. Mitchell said, I'm happy to look into that. And if we have something, they're out of state. I would proactively reach out to them and suggest. But I think it's probably accurate that a lot of those things aren't calling the HEDC. And so if part of our expectation is that one of those employees is proactive in finding things that are never going to call an HEDC, then we need to clarify that expectation too. I mean, they were 1.5 FTEs a few years ago, and now we've got 4 full-time employees. So if we have expectations, and maybe we do, I don't know that we've communicated them clearly or that we even know what we're asking for.
Well, I'm not really asking for anything as much as wanting them to tell us what they are pursuing and what's their overall plan to pursue those items. And like that company you just mentioned, those are the kind of companies that should be on HEDC's radar, that you guys make relationships with some of these commercial development companies and commercial real estate companies that push out these big projects and have a relationship with those, so they think of Hancock County when they're representing their clients, that they're not looking for an abatement, they're just looking for a space. And I asked Randy about that the last time he was here, about building relationships with some of these commercial developers and realtors, and he said he didn't do that.
Okay.
I have one question, and I am all about amicably trying to move forward, because I do believe that that's, after talking to them, that's what they want as well. And we probably should have asked the executive committee to come talk to us a very long time ago, since we've hit the walls that Ken has talked about in the past. But I will ask the tough question, because this is something constituents ask me a lot, and that is about having a board where for-profit entities, right, are not necessarily locals, not necessarily community stakeholders, but making a donation to be on the board. And my question is, maybe that's the way it's always done, or it's just the way it's always been and doesn't have to be done, but how much at a disadvantage would HEDC be if structurally in the future, the board did not include those types of members? It's just an honest question.
I guess I don't have a quick answer for that. What I will tell you is the makeup of our board is very similar to what you would find in other counties where you do have, obviously, public as well as private interests that are in the room. There is a fee structure that's a little bit different for each of those organizations. I'm willing to look into that a little bit more, but again, I've been on the Economic Development Board for 12 years. I've been on the Executive Committee for about 5 years. I don't know all those answers, but we do take a look at what others are doing around the state. That's where I can tell you, I know our compensation is right in line with others. There are reports that come out through the IEDC that give us some of that information. So I'm willing to look at it, but what I would tell you, and I would want you to all be assured of, is that our makeup is pretty similar to what you would find in the other 91 counties in the state.
I think just structurally.
But what you're alluding to too is, would it be different if they were on the board but they didn't pay? That they were volunteers on the board?
Right, I guess that's correct. I guess it's either, do those people belong on the board? Would the public feel better
if they didn't?
If those type of board members didn't exist? Or, well, we want people who have experience in development on our board, right?
Right, you want community involvement.
And we think this person is yes, they're in the business, and that's why we want their expertise, and we think they're fair and unbiased and not here to act in their best interest. Well, then why do they pay for their voting seat, right?
Yeah.
And then I understand that makes up some of your revenue stream,
Exactly.
right? And so we here may have to justify, we don't think that should happen. I'm not saying that's the case, but hypothetically, if we were to say, you know what, it doesn't make sense we keep doing it that way, then this council has to be prepared to fill that gap in the budget with this money that's coming in and not cut it so much.
But since every county does it, or a lot of counties do the exact same thing, I'd like to see if there's actually been issues that we're exposing ourselves to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't know it's the case.
I don't know of any.
I think there are some issues. I would hope that somebody from this council would get in contact with
Right, we
the president.
we haven't been exposed to that yet.
And I'm not suggesting that it's ever happened. But what I'm saying from over here, where we don't necessarily know the ins and outs, obviously, based on the questions that have been begged the last couple months, the feedback I get from taxpayers, is the transparency, where's the money going, what's it gonna fund, what are they gonna do with it? But then the second top question has to do with, you have people who are out obviously looking for business in the development spaces, donating a fee to get to be part of this group. And not that it has been abused or misused, but structurally, people carry the concern that it will be.
I'm going to wrap this up because we have a public hearing scheduled in 1 minute.
Okay.
And I'll just leave it with that. It sounds like we need to maybe start a close relationship for a period of time and work together on
We are open
what
to that.
would work with you guys and would be something the council would feel is a member as well. And after the first of the year, we'll probably reach out and then start then.
Okay, we're open to that.
Yeah, you're going to receive another draw, and hopefully we can, you can come back to us with how we can work together with some of that additional funds as soon as possible.
And just, I guess, in close, if there are specific things that the council wants to hear from HEDC, if that's on a quarterly basis, twice a year, once a year, give us some advance notice of that, and we'll bring that to you.
I've tried.
No, yeah. Well,
It's been brought up.
you're
more
going to
than
have
once.
enough money for your budget for next year soon, or, till the next draw and everything. So I would like to see us collaborate on some of that money as soon as possible, maybe first a year or whatever. Can you go back to your board and say, okay, this is all the funds that we've got? Because we got existing funds and we got additional funds coming. Can we do something with the county right now? So,
The answer is yes. We know
Okay.
that we can.
okay,
I'm gonna.
thank you.
I'm gonna move on.
Thanks, Harold. I really
Thanks.
appreciate your.
Thank you,
Harold.
Yep.
Okay, we have a public hearing scheduled for 9 a.m. and it is, I'm going to open the public hearing. It's for an additional appropriation from Fund 001, which is the County General for the Board of Commissioners. They're asking for the appropriation of $245,853.50. And it reads out, as Community Health returned half of the mental health tax levy money owed to expire. So they returned this money, that's correct, and we're appropriating it to go where?
Fire, the new Gallahue.
They've changed.
So
It was
they
not
changed that.
Gallahue now, it's Aspire.
Okay, so
It's no additional loss to us. We've already,
I just was trying to figure out, I guess I didn't read that.
that's,
Is there anyone from the public that has a comment about this? None noted, so I'll close the public hearing and ask if there's any council comments.
I'll move that we do it.
second.
We have a first by Jim, a second by Kent. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll just start down through the action items. Budget meeting update, Jim?
Just a second. Sure. We went through the fund balances and they're all good. Well, except for one, jury pay. But we've taken care of jury pay. We passed an appropriation of $500,000 for the Fair Board, and they presented their a request for 26 and 27. We passed an appropriation of $300 each for TK and the Church of God for transitional housing to come from
300,
opioid money.
Hey,
I'm sorry, it was two,
Church of God.
And wasn't in it the 500,000?
and the 500 for
Oh,
Aspire.
that's
Stay
right.
with the Aspire
Right.
program.
Right.
Contingent that the commissioners decided to move
Right,
forward
and
with the
contingent that they get a match
application. Right.
for that, with that
For the
500,000.
500,000 is from food and beverage, you said?
No,
No.
that's opioid.
It's all opioid.
You weren't here last meeting, but actually 1,000 from the Church of God was food and beverage. It was $299 from opioid and 1,000 from food and beverage because it was short $145 or something.
But apparently
It's in the,
the Aspire program is based on them applying for a grant, okay? And if a matching grant, and if that grant is matched, then those funds can go to that. If that grant is not matched, then we probably have to revisit it.
This is still all under the commissioner's purview, correct?
It is, and it's under the opioid settlement. And we made everything contingent on them agreeing to everything in their meetings also.
and I also gave out the HEDC budgets for 24 and 25. I think that was it.
Thank you, Jim. We need an motion to approve the minutes from November.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
You had to get on the books today, didn't you, Tammy?
Had to.
Get on,
Had
you had to
to.
get on the books.
Had to.
She wants that last paycheck.
I
She gotta get it.
Okay, agreed. Auditor
Whoa.
business?
I do have one thing. We've got a bill from Garmong in regard to the building, the BOT project out of the jail. And you guys, I believe, voted not to bond that project to pay it out of capital jail lit funds. We do not have any money appropriated to pay this bill. However, we do have lines, commissioners have lines in the jail lit operations. So what I'd like to do is to pay the $65,000 that's owed to Garmong out of the operation funds, but with a motion from you that come January, we can reimburse that money to the capital line.
First from the commissioner's budget?
It's in the jail lid, it's the commissioner's line
Oh, it's commissioner.
that we have appropriated. So it's basically, in order to pay this bill,
And the
I
bill
need
is what?
$65,000, and the best place to do it is
For
to go.
what? What
For
would-
the BOT project that's out at the jail. This is, this particular bill is,
Like for the planning?
yeah, this schematic design and all of that work. It was 65,000. I did
Okay.
talk to Greg this week, and I just said, hey, what do you think that the commissioner should recommend? Food and beverage, or go ahead and pay it out of the operations, and then we can reimburse it after we can do an additional appropriation in January. But I won't do that unless I have a motion from you.
Okay, so it should come out of the lit jail
It should be paid out of the
capital.
jail lit capital fund. But
You're
we have to
wanting
do
to-
the operations because we have $7 million, but we just don't have it appropriated.
Right.
So I need to steal from Peter to pay Paul, but I want to reimburse it in January.
And that reimbursement will come through the bond appropriation.
There's no bond. That's why we don't have to do a resolution to reimburse. I just need a motion. Then you guys decided not to bond this project. You wanted to pay it out of the jail lit capital
Are
fund.
we talking about the addition of the garage that's going on out
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
I thought the payment for that was going to be like 3.8 million out of this $6.5 million bond that we just,
No, you were gonna do two separate bonds originally, and then you took the other one back and decided we have enough cash balance that we can appropriate out of the capital fund to pay for it, so that's the direction that I got last.
I'll move that.
Thank you.
I'll second.
all right, we have Jim with a motion and Robin with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it looks like we need to approve the 2026 salary ordinance.
Do we need a motion to reimburse it in January? I think that's the motion I asked for, because we didn't need one to pay it, so.
Yes, I believe you
Okay,
do.
thank you, we're good.
Salary ordinance. Is that to approve it?
6 salary ordinance. Five, 12A, that's it. I wasn't here, I'm sorry if you guys introduced it, do you need to adopt it?
They didn't introduce.
So if you guys could introduce that and then suspend the rules to adopt on the same day, that'd be great. It's 2 motions.
We're talking salary ordinance.
Yes. Need a motion. Which motion do you need first?
To introduce.
We need a motion to introduce the salary ordinance 2025-12-5.
I'll move that.
12-A.
12-A.
Oh, dash A. So Jim made the motion.
I'll second
Kent
it.
seconded it. All in favor?
We need a motion to suspend the rules with unanimous
Second.
consent.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we went through that.
Yes.
Now we adopt.
Now we need a motion to adopt the salary ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
What is an authority resolution? What's the year-end authority resolution?
Here it is.
Sorry?
It's the same thing we did.
Yes, and this is an ordinance, a resolution to allow the, or the auditor to make corrections or accounting
Yeah.
issues that she might have along the way, that she can go ahead and take care of that without coming back to us. So we need a resolution number.
Resolution number will be 2025-12.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I do have a question on the salary ordinance. So it is all broken down hourly. And so since there's 27 pays in 2026, I'm just trying to figure out, because I know we used to talk about people in annual salaries, and the 27th pay begged the question of, well, people aren't really annual salary, they're per pay period, and it depends how many pay periods fall. But then when we go into 2027, is it like an automatic raise? I mean, is
They're
this,
gonna get paid what's on the salary ordinance every 2 weeks as it states. So what their end salary was accounted for at the budget hearings that we did. So,
and then we approved the 2027 pay. So,
I don't have each and every one of those, it should be on here, let me take a look.
well, that's what I was looking at, but I was like, I don't have anything to compare it to.
Well, we have in payroll, what they're gonna make annual based on what they've been told, and then we have the salary ordinance that you guys wanted adopted bi-weekly. So, if you add all these up, it's gonna be what they're making for the year, unless they're part-time. So, I don't have it with me.
So it would have been
We
taking,
have that end on our payroll stuff.
but it would have been taking what we originally approved and then adding the 27th pay that was approved, and then dividing by, adding those numbers together and dividing
Finish
by
the
the
top one,
actual
cut.
expected work hours of 2026?
Yes.
Yes, we do, yes, we. Okay, does that answer your question, Keely?
Yes.
Okay.
So do we have to do the CASA budget transfer?
Yeah, I skipped right over. I was so worried about that Garmong. I forgot to go over the salary ordinance amendment, payroll stipend, the cost of budget transfer. If you guys could take a look at that.
Like we just need it's a line item transfer, so we need a motion to do the budget transfer requested by CASA.
There's an ordinance number. Was that for something else?
Yep.
Okay, never mind.
I make a motion to do a CASA budget transfer.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in
Give it to
favor?
Scott.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sorry that I didn't.
Yes.
Anybody have any questions about the encumbrances that are listed on the resolution before we vote on it?
Got to add more. They always come up every day. There's a new one.
Yeah, it's like, oh, got another one. No, it's on your sheet. It's that salary stipend for payroll. And it's in your, is it in their sheet? No.
Under auditor business, yes. There's a copy.
I don't see it either, but she says so.
There we go. That's what Kim was saying. There's a,
All right.
it's gonna be 2025-12B.
It's an amendment.
And that is for the payroll girls and the additional they're receiving. Handling.
Oh, you know what? That does actually beg one question. And I had talked to Bill Spalding about this. So we had voted contingent on commissioner approval on the opioid money last week. And the only item to bring back for discussion was we had authorized the commissioners to hire the grant writer to both produce the application for the county for people to apply, but then also to apply to the state. We approved $10,000. Bill Spalding came and asked for it earlier this year. At the time, we said, yes, we'll do that. And I believe we said we'll just pay it out of opioid unrestricted. And with last week's motion to distribute the opioid money to the recovery residence projects, I think we need a new motion, and you might tell me January is the better time to do it. But at some point, we need a new motion to pay the $10,000 grant writer out of food and beverage or
I
wherever.
think that's a commissioner's motion that they would tell us to pay it out of there. It's in their budget.
What's in their budget?
Yeah.
They asked for it?
Bill Spalding came here months ago and asked the council, will you fund $10,000 to pay a grant writer to apply for the state match? And we said, yes. And we said, we'll just pay it out of the opioid unrestricted.
But you didn't make a formal motion?
We did. Yes, yeah, that was months ago. Nobody's followed the whole opioid thing the last 8 months, but,
Well, we
so,
actually get audited on it, so we follow everything that we're supposed to do. So we just do the work after you guys make the decision. So we are following that.
Do
so
we
the
get more
commissioners
opioid
asked for
money?
it, we made a decision to pay the $10,000 to the grant writer. She won't bill until she's done in January applying, but with last week's motion that Kent made about splitting the money between the 3 projects, we need to pay we need to prepare to pay the $10,000 out of somewhere else.
Non-opioid.
That's not
Well,
opioid.
why does it have to be non-opioid? I mean, we get more opioid money next year.
You'll owe the grant writer in January, and I don't know when that opioid money will come.
But is the 500,000 been spent for the reason we bought the grant writer? We got the grant writer so that they could do the grant for the 500,000.
That's in her head, no.
It has not been spent.
So why can't we take it out of that until that money's spent and then, I'm just,
Take what out of what?
well, I'm just trying to divert us from spending food and beverage money on it.
Okay, well, then the
But-
motion, then somebody would need to make a motion to reduce the 2 other projects that weren't Aspire by 5,000 each, to leave 10,000.
You can't
to pay the
take it
grant
out of the 500,000 because that's what the grant writer was for, right?
Well, you have to tell the state when you ask for 500,000 that you're matching all 500,000, not that you subtracted 10K for the grant writer that wrote your grant.
I think what the commissioner's intent was that we were going to get more money to come in, that we have this, and that bill's not gonna come in until January, so I'm not sure. Do you know when we get the opioid settlement? So, I mean, there's money to move around, and it's not, and there's a process, so it's not that we're going to be to zero by January 30th or even February 1st. Is that what you're trying to say?
Correct,
Yeah.
but Greg made a comment here because we were Kent made a motion, 300,000, and Greg Garitos jumped up and said, you're short $145, right? There was some rounding there. And so you cannot commit money that you don't have.
If it's not
And so
there.
that's the whole reason that he changed his motion to 299 plus 1,000 from food and beverage. But there's $10,000 to pay a grant writer in January that, I mean, I understand what you're saying about cash flow, maybe, but is it a problem if those projects aren't going to come ask for their money till well beyond January? I don't know when opioid money comes in.
There's not it just happens.
It looks like it was randomly
It
August.
just happens.
Okay.
One was August, one was October, so it could be like.
Well, I saw it on the encumbrances, and that's fine, but I just wanted to point out to people, $10,000 to pay the grant writer with Kent's motion on the recovery houses. We weren't accounting for the $10,000, we still have to pay the grant writer.
Right. I'm not gonna die on this hill. I mean, the only thing I don't really wanna go back and cut those people. Okay, so I mean, if the council's thing is to pay it out of food and beverage, then so be it. If we can wait and see, when the other money comes in, if there's overlap or whatever, and it probably should have been paid out of opioid instead of us taking it out of a different fund. I don't know if the urgency is there for us to pay it right now.
Well, I think Keely's idea of maybe wait until January.
That's
just
fine.
Kind of circle back and revisit it, and then we'll have more.
You
You
have
kind
more
of know where we're
information
short up
ready.
for the year.
It just came up after last meeting, and I told Bill Spalding, hey, I know we told, if it comes up in your meeting, when you go back to discuss this, I have taken note that you intended to pay the grant writer from there, and that may have to be discussed again.
that what you remember from
From,
discussions about the opioid money and this $1,000 grant? Writer person?
Well,
Okay.
I didn't recall either, but on the paperwork that we got handed
not a-
out
it's
last
not a
week, it
perfect
said
one, but
$10,000
it's sort of
opioid
next
and
year.
restricted.
Table it
So
for-
are you, if you're good, can we kind
Yeah, we
of
don't-
have a chance to take a look at this, their
Yeah.
minutes, your minutes, and then we can circle back in January? That would be helpful for me.
Right.
Absolutely.
Let's just leave this as a tabled line item, and we'll readdress it in January.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
Do you still need a motion for the ordinance?
Encumbrance resolution, yes, we do.
Yes, for the
Yes.
ordinances.
That's
for
where
the encumbrances, yes, we do.
Shiny ball. Squirrel.
I'm sorry, did somebody make the motion?
I don't
Actually,
think so.
ask the question, or did you make the motion?
Oh, I was asking the question, but
Okay.
I make the motion.
Okay,
I'll second.
all right, we have a motion to approve resolution 2025-12-.
B. Oh, 12-4.
Four.
Oh, I thought,
Yeah.
Approving encumbrances for 2025. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
And did we have a motion on the stipend? I don't have anything written down for the stipend.
No,
Stipend, no. We haven't
no,
done
we
stipend.
haven't done that yet.
That's
You
when
guys
the
want to
whole,
call this?
Is that something we discussed?
Yeah, you guys approved it, commissioners approved it, and we just need to take care of it so that they get paid what they're doing.
We just need to sign it.
You guys have already signed it, I just don't have a motion.
you already signed it? No. That's something else.
No, this is
Yeah,
something
we did
else.
something else.
Sorry. Jim has it, sorry.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. We haven't
I
signed.
was so confused, I was like,
So moved.
Jim, do you have it?
Oh, yeah, he has it here. Sorry, it might have stopped with me.
They're right there.
I'm familiar with, I remember, so moved, I'll move, we,
Second, Kent's motion.
So it's been moved and properly seconded. All in favor?
aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Signed and down to her.
Go ahead and sign that.
miss it.
Was I here?
No, you were not here last meeting.
I know that, but when we approved this, I was here.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
this is
Because
today.
this wasn't done at the last
That wasn't
meeting.
the budget meeting, no.
Just want to make sure.
Did we do the transaction authority? Did we do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
The year-end
Did we vote that passed down? Did we vote? The transaction authority, you got what you,
It must be on its way, we've got two coming.
okay, I'll make a motion to approve the authorization for end-of-year transaction authority.
Well,
You did-
we've
we
already
already
did
did
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we
I
did
think she
that.
meant we didn't sign.
They're
Yeah.
just waiting on it to be signed. Has
Sorry,
he got
I've
it?
got two right here.
Has he
Confused.
signed, passed it down yet?
Yes, we've all signed it.
I've got it here.
Okay.
Almost
So
there.
we've got the salary ordinance.
Oh, here's, okay, here's the
Guys,
last.
you
right
you can
here.
laugh out loud if you want.
That is the stipend. We need to. So where's the copy for
There's still stuff to sign.
The salary ordinance.
Okay.
Salary
Like
ordinance,
this, yeah,
it's coming.
we're going to get all this signed before we move on.
That's all it is.
Well, no, oh, it's coming.
Yes.
We gotta get
only
Jim in
one
line
thing
with
in
what
there,
he's
right?
supposed to be
Yeah.
doing down there, but
I know.
maybe you should come in 30 minutes earlier and give Jim a
Move
lesson
him
on.
to the end chair.
You're fine.
I know.
I think I'm always looking this way and don't realize that.
Debbie's there, the encumbrance.
There's another thing to sign.
Oh, there is one more.
You have one more.
Have one more.
That's the year end, no.
Got it, I know what that is.
I just was trying to get him to, so we can see what we needed.
Got any more papers down there, Jim, we don't know about?
I don't think so.
Hey, they are
He's gonna
all
pass his
moving.
own notes down.
Oh, start signing those.
Sign stuff.
Is that it?
Everything that we need. My list.
Here, one more.
Okay, you'll have everything after the encumbrance?
I think so.
I'm not coming back.
The rest of the year.
If you're not coming back, I'm not coming back.
I'm not coming
very
back
matter
the
of
rest of the years on that.
All right, it looks like then now we have the last item on the agenda, which we do at the end of the year, is appoint the actual board members. We do the committee appointments in January after the new board officers are elected. So I'm going to start with.
You guys are in the orange, just to highlight for you.
Ma-
Sorry.
Because this up, can we
Mary?
discuss this before we do it?
Mary, could I interject something? Due to the fact we will have a different person on the council after the first of the year, that maybe we think about waiting till after the first of the year when we have the new board member to make the appointments?
I don't agree because, first of all, this is the way we've always done it, so.
No, it's not the way we've
That's-
always done it.
Yeah, I've been here 5 years
We've
and we've
only
not
done it
always
one
done that.
time in the last 12 years that I know of.
Yeah, well, I don't see the point. I honestly don't see the
Well-
point. You're going to have a new person here that knows nobody on this board.
And give that
And we'll
person
be
time to
making-
talk to the other people because they will be caucused in 1 week.
I,
They'll be caucused in 1 week, right? So they got a whole month to talk to all the board members.
I
But
know why you guys are doing this, and we.
I know why
and-
you're doing it too.
And I just don't agree with changing the protocol of how we did it from last year to this year to accommodate a situation.
It's not protocol. I've been here 13 years. We've done it once. Prior to
Well,
that.
we did it last year, so I'm just carrying on with how we handled it last year.
And I'm a little concerned with the new person that it turns into a campaign, who's going to be the president, you know? We don't want to get into that.
Well, yeah, but
I
no
agree.
no
It needs to
offense
be
to
done
Tammy,
today.
though, she shouldn't be allowed to pick who's gonna work next year. She quit. You quit. You quit us. And so,
She moved out of the district.
I understand, but she quit the council. Whether she moved out of the district or, I didn't ask her to move. But, so I don't think she should be allowed to pick who
Well, I
we have
think
to
she
live
gets
with.
one vote, Ken. She's not picking
I know, I
anything.
get one vote also.
But the next
And you
meeting,
get
somebody
one.
else gets one vote
I'm
who's
gonna
actually
call-
going to be
I'm going
here.
to, as president, take it to the point where we're going to do nominations for the officers of the board today, as we did last year, and I'm asking for nominations for president first.
I nominate Scott Wooldridge.
I'll second it.
All right, is there any other nominations?
I'll nominate Keely Buttram.
Jim's got
Second.
one.
Okay, so we have two nominations, and we're going to call vote verbally, so we'll get through it. Tammy,
Scott Wooldridge.
Scott,
Scott.
Kent,
Keely.
myself, Scott, Robin,
Scott.
Lee.
Before I vote, I want to point out that 2 months in a row, Mary, you as current president approached me and asked me if I would consider being president. Let me talk. And I told you that, yes, I would do that. And the last conversation I had with you a month ago was, I am nominating you for president. And last night, and I plan to do that. I talked to my husband. I made room in my schedule next year. I made sure my family was okay with that sacrifice because it will triple my time here. And last night, calling you about an unrelated matter is the first time I've heard, oh, actually, I'm not nominating you.
Well-
And I don't know if you know how crazy that sounds,
I'm
but
gonna
it's
tell you-
wild
I'm
the
go-
way it all goes down
And
around
I'm going to
here.
explain myself with that.
Do.
At the time, last month, when we discussed it, I had no idea there was anybody else that was going to be interested. You asked, please don't, I don't want to do it because I've got too many irons in the fire, but you eventually said, yes, you would do it if I would then be vice president and help you along the way. Since then, things changed. Got his name come up as a potential candidate, and I thought, well, you have so many conflicts of interest.
I do not. Who has conflicts of interest? Scott sits here and abstains from everything. He has more conflicts of interest than everyone up here combined. You're talking crazy, Mary. I have no conflicts of interest.
We're going to finish the
Zero.
vote. What's your vote, Keely?
My vote's for me.
Jim?
And we won't be done talking about this.
I don't care.
Yeah.
The vote passes 4-3 for Scott as our president next year. Now we will go on to vice president. Do I have any nominations for vice president? Anybody? It sounds like
Yeah, I suppose I can do it.
Okay, then,
I'm sure Scott will be here all the time.
all right, then we have nomination of Robin as vice president. Any other nominations?
I'm happy with Robin being it. I mean, I was
Okay.
vice president last year, but that
And you
that
didn't have
doesn't
to
mean,
do, yeah,
it
you didn't
doesn't
have to
mean
really do
anything.
much of anything.
Right,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything
Yeah,
to
so
me.
if there's no other nominations, then we'll have a vote of all in favor. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries, 6-1.
When we appoint the committee members, I'm going to say about this, I'm very disappointed. This year I sat back, I've been on no committees, I've had no appointments. I've been in government 8 years, and for 8 years I've sat back and said, okay, you want to be president? You want to be the person on the committee? Okay, I support you. And this year I did nothing and waited for all the appointees to come back and report here so that we're all in the know. And it didn't happen on opioid. We have a salary committee that never brought up a 27th pay till the 11th hour. We've fought with community corrections about their budget when we have an advisory board and heard nothing. So I'm gonna quit being so diplomatic and start mentioning here that everybody wants to raise their hand, but then they don't do the work and we're not in the know. And I'm tired of people saying they want to do stuff and neglecting it and then not taking responsibility for giving information
You
here.
know, Keely, I'm on a lot of committees and I very rarely miss. And I do the work. I do, so please don't say everybody.
I don't,
And I attend all the
Say
committees
everybody.
that I am appointed to. I am at every amplified meeting that I have on my docket. I attend any and every other invitation that I get of a meeting that I'm invited to, which we seem to have more secret meetings, it seems, in the last year than I've ever seen before on this council, so.
what do you mean about secret meetings? I mean, that's a broad accusation. And saying that somebody who hears something here and goes and tries to find more information to understand it is engaged in secret meetings is garbage.
Well, I can name two, but I.
Please do. No, let's talk about it. You want it all in the public meeting, let's put it in the public meeting. You just made the accusation that people are having secret meetings, which is alluding that somebody's doing something wrong. So let's talk about it right here in the public meeting.
Well, for one, there was a meeting held with Greg Veritas and Book to discuss the LIT money that only you and Jim knew about. Nobody else was invited. Nobody else knew about it till you had it. And that did not sit well.
I knew about it.
That is
was here.
crazy. Okay, Mary, Rhonda Cook came here to present to council. She is a county hired, I didn't hire her, but
I
the
said you
county
did.
hired her to be privy to what's happening at the State House and bring us information. And when she came here to bring us information, and you didn't like it because it wasn't necessarily the most favorable for the library of your district that you're supporting, you shut her down and we didn't get to hear her information. And you said, don't worry, we've got our financial advisor in it, just defer to his trust. Okay, I'll defer to his trust. Greg, do you support this if legislation isn't changed to put it on top of the cap? Well, no, then I wouldn't support it. Okay, well then I don't have enough information yet. And for you to say that I'm in a secret meeting because I asked for the information you refused to let us hear in the public meeting because it didn't align with your district's
don't know what
interests
you're talking
is
about.
garbage.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about exactly what's happened here.
Well, I don't recall it that way, so your memory is a little different
Well,
than
you're
mine.
losing it. You
I
have to go
never-
back.
I have
Good thing
never
to
shut
record
down
it.
anyone that wanted to come to the podium and have a conversation about anything.
Rhonda Cook did not
Ever.
get to finish what she came to say.
I don't remember
And
it
I
that
didn't,
way.
and when I was invited to hear the rest of it and wanted to hear, and Greg Garitas didn't say everything he had to say.
Well-
And then he came back and explained the income tax last
We're
week.
gonna
You
stop.
weren't here.
We're gonna stop. We're
Can
gonna
I
stop.
explain my
Do
no
that.
vote?
We're gonna stop right now
Right.
because this is.
But we're gonna start pointing out that that's
know.
garbage, that they're secret meetings,
I-
and that the
I
people
would
who are
like
actually
to
trying to
explain my no
inform
vote
themselves are doing
because
anything wrong.
Can you please stop?
He's going to
Please
be
stop.
president next year, and I need to explain my no vote.
Thank
Because
you.
I don't need him and I having problems, okay?
We don't.
We don't. But Scott's voting record has been not in supportive of the county government, okay? Because he says no on a lot of things and he sustains on a lot of other things, okay? I'm hoping he and I can get better aligned in some of that because we have to run the government. I mean, when you vote no on the majority of the budgets and vote no on the bond for the school, when you vote no on everything that we try to do, I know he's doing it because everybody else votes yes, it's going to pass anyway. But that's self-serving more than it is government serving.
I understood,
And so-
and he'll have to speak to that part of it.
Right.
But I understood
So-
that some of the times that he abstained is because it had something
I understand that.
collectively to the hospital,
Right.
and his wife works there, so he felt like he should abstain.
I'm not saying that but he does have conflicts, and then, but on opportunities for the county, I'd like him to take more of a county view, because he is representing the whole county, not just a few constituents, on some of the votes and stuff.
I agree.
And
Well, speaking
But-
of conflicts of interest, I'm accused of having a bunch of them, so I want to hear specifically right now. Somebody name one right now. Name a conflict of interest I have right now, because you said it on the record that I have a
want
bunch,
you
and I have zero, so somebody is going to
there's
attest to
freedom
what that
I
is.
understand. I want you to be more, you know what
Go
I'm
for
saying.
it. Somebody, no, Mary, you said it, so you tell me what my conflict of interest is.
Well, you're on the tourism board, you're on the Talitha Coombs board, you have shown interest in being affiliated with the 4-H, you're on a lot of boards.
I have not shown any interest in being affiliated with 4-H. We talked about it here, and I donated my time to go in to try to better understand it. I donated my
Keely,
time.
I'm not going to sit here and argue with you.
glad
Well, you're not
on
going
the
to sit here and say I have
tourism
conflicts of interest that I don't have,
We
Mary,
need
on public
somebody
record. You're going to answer for
I
that
just
when you
did.
say that.
I
And
just
those are
did.
not conflicts of interest. Me being a volunteer at nonprofits, sorry you guys can't spend more time volunteering for nonprofits and you think it's a conflict of interest. But you will not sit here and say that in public because that is a lie.
I am going to call this meeting adjourned. Is there anything else?
Did you have a motion?
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
She
There
did.
was, there was a motion on the floor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Debbie's got a motion.
But the rest of the appointments,
We
what are
do
we
those
doing?
in January, after the new board gets here. You want to do them now?
Is there a final?
No, I didn't
So we
wanna
had a
do any
first
of
and a
it now.
second on Scott or Keely, or are we just gonna roll it all? Because there wasn't a final all in favor.
The other was.
Yeah, there was.
The other
We
was.
roll called it.
We roll
We
called
roll
it.
called it. It was
Scott
me,
got 4.
Scott, Mary, and Robin.
Mary wrote it
Were
down.
yes for
Yeah, I
Scott.
wrote it down. That's 4.
So before we go any further, yeah, we've got the numbers, but there wasn't a final all
That
in
is-
favor.
It's a
Kent
That is
said
roll
no.
call vote.
That's a roll call vote.
We're not all in favor, obviously.
Yeah,
had a
it was
4-3
4-3
vote.
vote for president.
Yeah, for
And then
president.
we had an all in favor for the vice president, it's Robin.
Yeah, so that's, it's
You
done.
can watch the tape.
It's done.
I am glad Keely's on the tourism board.
And I'm not on the tourism commission. I
No,
have
but
0
I-
appointments.
Somebody needs to be.
They have a nonprofit and asked me, based on my experience, would I come add value and contribute? And I donate even more time to that.
Did we have a motion to adjourn?
Yes, Tammy made a
And
motion.
I
to
made
is
it.
adjourn.
Deborah, have
Are we done?
done all the motions that you guys need for the year end?
On the vice president for Robin.
It was
Yes.
all
I
in
heard
favor.
the vote, and it was
All in-
actually 6-1.
It was 6
Yeah.
and 1.
It's 6 and 1, I'm
But
sorry.
I never heard the first and second.
Okay, I made the motion, and I don't know who seconded, or Robin made the motion that she would accept it. And
Nominate, yeah.
she nominated
I'll
herself.
second it.
Just
If you need a
agreed to do it.
voice,
Okay.
I'll be the second.
I just know I'm one of them.
I have a motion from Tammy to
I'll second it.
We're out. The motion carries adjourned.
Thank you.
There's a book
Thank
here,
you.
Ken, don't take off.